Okay, so unbelievably, we're back with My Hero Academia. It took a while for the dub to come out, and the timing was really bad for me, so I'm gonna end up watching like the first two episodes today, and then the third episode comes out tomorrow. So um, I'm kind of catching up, but we're in it now. We'll see what happens with this Liberation Army business. This episode's called A Quiet Beginning.
Strong to ignore.
That's somewhat ominous. I actually kind of like this scientist. I think he's very well done.
A decisive battle is upon us.
But
an all-out
Shigaraki may have become powerful enough to decay things that he's not even touching, but it does put a heavy burden on his body. Like, some of those injuries were due to his fight, yes, but some of it was due to him overusing his power. Quirks all have limits, right? That's something the show's been very careful to show us. Like, you have to train up your limits. And Shigaraki has been training, but that doesn't mean he has no limit. Like, just like Endeavor, eventually his power will harm him. Oh wait, we're already starting like a new raid? Always gotta get the new intro. I like the comic book sound effects. It just reminds you that the person who writes this manga is definitely like an American style comic book fan. Okay, so we can see from that intro, we're going to be focusing a lot on the three that are partnered with Endeavor, Todoroki, Bakugo, and Deku, which I think is fine. They obviously are some of the more important characters in the show, so it's okay for them to get the limelight. If you've been watching my reactions since the beginning, you know, like, I really do enjoy how much this show lets the side characters shine. So I hope we do get the rest of the class, and also some non-class 1A members too, like Shinso. I really enjoy him. I hope to see a little bit more backstory. We've gotten pretty much all of Twice's backstory, but it looks like we could also be getting some other villain backstories, depending on how the spotlight was shown there in the intro. And it looked like Marco is going to be a little bit more involved. Like, she's probably going to be one of the other heroes that get brought in to help with this problem. So we'll see. They did deliberately introduce us to the top 10 last season just so that we'd know who they are, probably because they're going to be important in the fights coming up. And we'll see. You can't let the students do everything, right? The adults have to take on some of the fights. I don't know what to think about Twice sometimes.
That dude is one of the founding strongest members of each
Here we go.
serve as aides to the lieutenantly headed bases.
I like that ice guy.
Their duties are strict surveillance.
One paranormal front and then one League of Villains lieutenant per division, basically. Like, they've kind of turned over control to League of Villains, but, you know, the Liberation Front are the ones who actually know how to run something, so they're still going to be the ones who are actually running the show.
Commission drilled into me when I was a kid.
Wait.
There's hostility and resentment toward the current city.
Wait, so not only was Hawks, like, raised from a young age by the hero, like, department of the government, but they also trained him to be a spy? Like, they knew this could happen? Not a great childhood.
Japan as we know it. Hey, you know...
I would like to know, the more we learn about the time period where Quirks first emerged, and, like, All for One was at its height, it makes me wonder, like, how modern Japan in the show even happened. Like, how did they come back from that? Seems like it would have been a tough rebuilding process.
You're the best Ion. But I also knew that you were a friendly guy.
Twice is super scary if he wasn't so held back by himself.
For being a pro-hero. Be in the mountains near Kyoto for 4 months.
Hey, gave the location too.
Though I'm sure that all together.
I was right.
Twice is so good. Such a good character though. It's weird because he's oddly wholesome, but he's clearly an evil person, right? His backstory, he was like just some crook who used his quirk to steal stuff. But I wonder how he got that way, right? Nobody starts evil. We can even see that with Shigaraki. Like what has happened to him is entirely due to his circumstances. Like he didn't develop this mindset out of nowhere. Like he wasn't just a psychopath to start with. He was turned into one on purpose. So I wonder, the show has done a good job at making the villains somewhat, I don't want to say like sympathetic, but compelling for sure.
Doctor, good morning.
Love this guy.
And to you.
Founder of Jakku General Hospital and its current
Quirkless?
chairman of the board.
I don't think I believe that.
He championed the idea soon after opening the hospital.
All for One definitely gave him some
and
quirks.
building orphanages and nurse.
A true villain.
Oh, how'd they know about him?
Trusted agent.
Right, and he's the mad.
Wait. How did they gather that intelligence? He's been fairly careful to stay out of the limelight.
He's the one to blame.
Ah,
I sent someone in undercover after receiving intel from the safety commission.
Sukauchi. He did
found
it.
a restricted area within the Paranormal Liberation Front's hideout.
Now,
These two events will happen.
how they did this shows who they think is more important, right? They put Endeavor on the hospital team, in charge of the hospital team, meaning getting this doctor and figuring out what's going on with the Nomus is actually more important to the police than shutting down the Liberation Army.
We expect substantial resistance from the.
You shouldn't be
police,
using
force,
students
and the
this
Nomus.
way.
We cannot
Doesn't make
wait
sense.
longer. If
The
we
lieutenants have gathered for a routine meeting.
I'm interested to see how some of the quirks of these top 10
Everyone
work.
should be inside this mansion.
Whoa.
Our enemy has
That's a lot of heroes.
But
Don't you worry.
You should not be bringing students on a raid like this.
Beginning of the raid. And Komari's mushroom.
There are all ways to take people out.
Can be used to subdue large
Yeah.
groups of enemies quickly and from afar.
Area effects.
We have no idea what the.
only two.
Yeah. Very smart of Hawks.
Hawk.
Look, there's one.
Uh-oh.
Guess we forgot to tell you the big news. You backstabbing liberation scumbag.
Ooh, they got him.
The infiltration.
He knows.
I'm progressing nicely. Wait.
Oh, because Shigaraki's here.
You're the creator. You will face justice.
Ooh, scary. He turned his quirk off even though he's supposedly quirkless. Ah.
As expected, his profile in the work.
Oh.
That could answer a big question.
It's like a big
All for
longevity
One's
quirk.
been alive such a long time. All for One benefits from the ability.
That's actually really horrifying. Like, he can just look at you and like basically make you age because your quirk is the only thing keeping you alive. He just has to turn it off and you become helpless. Oof.
Saving countless lives with that power.
It's true.
But you've hurt
Show you in later.
Like, imagine if he had used his ability, his quirk research. Now, first off, he was only able to do all this quirk research because All for One was helping him and also helping him live longer. But like, imagine if he could have like replicated that advanced healing quirk, just like they're saying, like the people you could save with it rather than like putting it into monsters.
We should start a hero agency.
It's still wrecking me that one of my favorite characters in the show is actually Present Mike and Aizawa's like old friend.
It's our turn to take something away from you.
Ooh.
Team Endeavor has
They're mad,
entered
too.
Hospital. Garaki is. Hey, you there, Endeavor?
They send her in by herself.
Oh, please. Always such an ability. What fools you heroes.
Interesting. Whoa. So he is even performing experiments even now. So now, not only does he know, but we know, if you use erasure on one of Twice's doubles, they don't disappear. That means he is actually even more scary than last season showed him to be. You can't get rid of his copies. Well, this is messed up.
Will burn.
My
Ooh,
world is
he's got a lot.
My entire life's work.
So All for One got this set up so that even if he lost, everything would be in place. He's got all these quirks already stockpiled. The doctor's already moving the plan forward. It's all set for him. Basically, the tarmac has been cleared for Shigaraki.
The blood and sweat.
Work goes too quick for you, buddy. Oh no! His teleporter.
What's up, Doc?
Oh, that's funny.
And you're the real one.
Oh, that's the end of the episode. This ending definitely cements for me that Dabi is Endeavor's missing son. That's a pretty good opening episode. Right into the action. Raid's already started. Everything's coming together. As far as I know, the Doctor only has the one Nomu that can use warp. So, or not warp, but like the messed up warp that has the goo. So, I don't know how he's going to get out of this. Probably Shigaraki's just going to wake up and start wrecking, honestly, is what's probably going to happen. Also, we didn't get to see the Manor team at all. Who knows what's going on over there? Probably next episode. I'm going to get straight to that.